Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Angel, and today I wanted to talk about things I wish I knew a year ago. So this month of March marks the 1-year anniversary of me starting this whole plant journey. Before quarantine hit, I maybe had like 2 plants, and by July of last year I had like 30, and now a year later I have like 60, close to 70 plants. But it just got me to do a lot of reflecting, and so I thought this would be a perfect time to do a video talking about the things I wish I had known last year when it came to plants. So the first thing that I wish I had known is that, like any hobby, it's an investment and it's going to cost a lot at first. And I don't just mean like the plants cost a lot, because there are certain tools that you need. And all those tools are usually just one-time purchases, but when you buy all those together, it does cost a lot. Your watering can, your soil meter, any plant stands that you need, your fertilizer, your soil, your pest sprays, and then of course all your pots. So besides like soil or fertilizer, like obviously you have to buy those once you run out, but everything else is usually just a one-time purchase. But yeah, it can be a lot at first. If I would have known all of that, then I would have maybe slowed down on how fast I was buying plants, because I was buying plants faster than I was getting the items that I needed to actually take care of them in the best way possible. There is a learning curve, so you know, you can research and watch YouTube and read blogs and all these things, talk to people who have certain plants, which is great. I definitely recommend talking to people who have the plant that you're interested in, or maybe you're having trouble with or whatever. But I could have as much knowledge as possible about a certain plant based off of other people, but until I have that plant and I'm taking care of it, I don't truly know what it needs, because everybody's house, everybody's environment is slightly different. So there's a learning curve for sure, and I wish I had known that, because it really was discouraging when I would lose plants. But it's just, you have to learn how to take care of them, and sometimes that means that a certain plant's gonna die. But that doesn't mean that you can't try again if you really liked a certain plant, because now you know what you could do better. And that's another thing that if I had known that, then I wouldn't have gone out and bought so many plants all at once, because that just meant I was gonna lose that many more plants. And that's because I didn't do my research in not just about the plant, but about what it needs. And I had no idea about the windows in my house, what kind of light I was able to provide, the humidity levels. Like, I had no idea about any of that, and that is definitely something that I wish I had researched beforehand. I wish I would have understood what fertilizer does for plants, what kind of fertilizer is best, the soil, what kind of soil is best. Doing your research, that's something that I wish I had done before buying all these plants. Majority of my plants at first died because of overwatering and root rot, because I didn't understand soil. Like, I didn't understand what it does for plants, the types of additives that can be put into soil, and what those additives can do in order to help your plant thrive in that particular soil. Like, I was so ignorant to soil. That's one thing that really upset me as I continue to learn what plants really need, is that there's so much information out there that tells you that a certain plant likes their soil to stay moist. And it's just, oh man, that really bothers me, because as a new plant parent, that's so confusing. And I wish I would have understood that it's so much easier to revive a plant or to bring a plant back into a healthy condition with underwatering than it is overwatering. It's so hard to save a plant that has been overwatered, because yeah, nowadays my plants pretty much go underwatered. Like, I really just leave them be, and I have 2 days a week that I check on all of my plants. That doesn't mean that I water all of them every week. Some plants I do water every week, but then that also depends on the size of their pot and what kind of pot they're in. And so that is the last thing that I really wish I had known, is what a difference the type of pot you choose makes on your plant. So number one, always making sure your pot has a drainage hole. Very important. I would never go without having a drain hole for my pot. The other thing that I wish I had known is having a pot that has a catch tray is great, but if I could do it again, I would stay away from pots that had a connected catch tray, because normally what I've found is the pots that have a connected catch tray just have one tiny hole for the water drainage, and the water will obviously seep out onto the tray, and you just have to continually tip over your pot, tip over your pot, tip over your pot. If you have one that's wide enough that you can stick a turkey baster in there, that's great, but I honestly haven't found one. So I just feel like the pots that I do have that have the catch tray, I go a long time without watering them because I feel like the drainage isn't adequate, and so it holds moisture in a lot longer than other pots. And I mean, majority of those ones are going to be made out of ceramic anyways, and ceramic pots tend to hold moisture in more than other plants too. So I just wish I had known that kind of thing about pots. Like, yes, ceramic pots are so cute and they come in a lot of different colors and designs and things like that. Like, they're super cute, but honestly, some of my favorite pots that I have bought are plastic ones, because I know that it's gonna have adequate drainage. My plants that are in those pots are not gonna get root rot for sure. I just wish that I had understood pots, especially terracotta. Like, terracotta is great. Like, for plants that don't really need a lot of moisture, I put them in terracotta because the terracotta is gonna wick out any excess moisture so that those plants don't get root rot. And the thing that I didn't understand also about terracotta is obviously there's going to be a buildup because of the moisture that it's wicking out. So I thought early on, I'll put the plants that need a lot of moisture in terracotta because I'm watering them often, but it's not going to get root rot because of the terracotta. And my brain was just so backwards in that thinking because I was having to continually water them, and then the terracotta would get really nasty and get that like white goopy fuzzy stuff on the outside, and it was just gross. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like pots would be something that you would need to learn about and research, but it definitely is something that I wish I had known more about. If I could go back, all the plants that I did buy, I would have just kept them in their nursery pots until they were completely root bound. The plants that I did do that with are thriving. If you're worried about like cuteness or whatever, like I've seen people that spray paint nursery pots like gold or something like that, which I feel like I have so many nursery pots and I feel like that's a project I want to do one day. To wrap up, 5 things that I wish I had known. The hobby is going to cost a lot when you first get into it. There is going to be a learning curve, so you're going to lose plants as you progress in your journey. So to help that, do your research. Know what kind of light you can give your plant, know what kind of humidity, know what kind of soil, know what kind of fertilizer you need, and what all those do for your plant. Realize that underwatering is a lot easier to come back from than overwatering. Don't always trust your soil meter. Use your hands. Pots make a difference. Really think about that before you buy pots. It's not just always about cute aesthetics, but you want to make your plant survive, so it needs to have a good pot. Yes, so those are 5 things that I wish I had known a year ago, and maybe I would have 100 plants right now instead of 70 if I was able to keep all of those plants that I bought to begin with alive. Let me know what something that you guys would have known when you first started your plant journey. I love to learn new things, so maybe it'll help me also not feel so bad because I did not know a lot. So drop down in the comments below, what is something that you wish you would have known when you first started your plant journey, however long ago that was. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to request any other future videos down in the comments below, planty or not. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!